Hi. Of all the dogs that we have rescued over the years, there is one dog, there is one name that will forever live in our memories. His name, Sky. I received a telephone call from Germany. They told me that a dog needed help, and they sent me a picture. And I couldn't believe the image that they sent me. In there, you could see a dog that was missing half of his face, or half of his head. I didn't really understand what was wrong. I could see that there was a big part of the face lacking. There was one eye missing. There was damage on the jaw. And there seemed to be part of the skull missing as well. I didn't understand. I asked what was the problem, what has happened here. And then they told me that this dog had been rescued in Romania. Apparently, the owner or somebody had hit the dog with a spade, with these things that you use to dig holes. So using that sharp blade, they hit the animal, they hit the dog, and they basically made a big injury and a big cut. The dog lost one of his eyes, the jaw was fractured. He was left in a terrible, terrible condition. Apparently the rescue, they did some initial work, and the dog survived the injuries, and they found him a family. They found him a family in Germany. But the family didn't know what was happening, didn't really understand the extent of the injuries. So when the dog arrived home and they saw what was happening there, they just didn't know what to do. The fact was that the Sky couldn't open his mouth. When the blade cut his head, it also cut the bone. And after that, the bone basically set in a way that the jaw couldn't be opened. So effectively, Sky was dying of hunger and thirst. They were putting some water and some food through a gap on his teeth, but the suffering was tremendous. So I say, okay, bring the dog to us and we will do whatever we can. I promise you, we're gonna do everything to save him. So a couple of days later, his owner, the person that had adopted him, came to Valencia, brought him to us. We met him at the airport, gave him to us. We took him to the hospital and we started working on him. Now, I tell you, I still remember the moment we recorded that video, getting out of the car, entering the hospital, so surprised, he didn't know where he was, with half of his face missing. Wow, and the smell. The fact is that most of the tissue was rotting, and we knew there was something that had to be done very quickly, or this dog was gonna die of infection, sepsis. We didn't know. So we entered the hospital and we started the process of looking at the injury, understanding what was wrong. We did some x-rays, we did a CT scan, we did some blood tests. Miraculously, he was in good condition at blood level. Health-wise, he was okay. He was a very strong dog, but there was a massive source of infection there. So we decided to start like a strategic program, right? So first of all, we went into surgery to clean the whole area and to do a surgical cleaning and start working there. Really, it was terrible. You see that area that was infected on the right side of his face? The eye was still there. When the blade cut him, the eye remained inside and was rotting. Inside that area, there was also debris, there were also little stones, there was grass. Wow, we just couldn't believe it. The whole thing was such a disaster. It took us about 2 hours of surgical cleaning until we got the area completely clean and ready for the treatment. And then we had to think, how are we gonna do this? The fact is that the Sky couldn't open his mouth. The jaw was completely locked. It was set like this. He just couldn't eat anything or drink anything. We were giving him food through a small opening between his teeth. At first, Jorge and I were discussing how to make a jaw prosthesis. This is something that hasn't been done before. We looked for several companies, we looked for several options. There were some designs with different kind of materials, but nothing really was convincing enough. I mean, we didn't want to go into the type of surgery that will do more harm than good. And then Jorge had an idea. What if instead of creating a device for him, a prosthesis that was made out of metal or some kind of plastic material, why don't we use his own tissue, his own fat? That way there will be no reaction of the tissue. That way we will not be putting a foreign body that will eventually be rejected. And that's what we did. It was a 2-hour surgery, 2 or 3 hour surgery. It was risky. We didn't know what was going to happen. We had to take some fat out of Sky's belly, and we had to place that fat in the place where the jaw was. We basically had to cut this, break the jaw again, take some fat out, put the fat in there, fix it, and hope for the best. And you know what happened? It worked. It was unbelievable. I will never forget the first time that I saw Sky opening his mouth again, grabbing things, biting, chewing. It was just beautiful. There was this dog that had arrived to us looking like a monster and unable to eat, unable to drink, and then suddenly he was viable again. That was completely unbelievable. Over the following weeks, it was just beautiful. Really, he developed into an amazing dog. His true character came out. He was so friendly, he was so playful, and his mouth was working again. That was beautiful. And so the day when he had to travel and rejoin his family arrived. I took him to Germany. I took him to the family that had adopted him, that had taken the risk to adopt a dog in that condition, that had gone through the effort of contacting us, of bringing him to us. And that day I delivered them a completely new dog. And it was one of the most beautiful moments in my life. Sky meeting his family again, meeting his friend again. There was another dog in the house. I don't remember his name, but my God, they were so happy together. It was just beautiful. I spent over there 2 days. We went for walks in the countryside. I mean, really, this was one of the most beautiful moments I've ever gone through. Now, I left Sky in that family, and over the years, we have seen him continue thriving. We have seen him developing and, setting into the beautiful dog that he is. Sky is now older, he has matured, he continues having a beautiful life, he has so many friends, and through his videos, the videos that the family updates on his page, we see that he's so happy and that all the work that we did in that occasion paid off. It was a big risk, it was a big gamble. He could have died there and we wouldn't have been able to do anything, but we felt it was worth the risk. Sometimes when we get an animal in this condition, there is no other alternative other than trying and hope for the best. And this is what happened in this occasion. That was Sky. Sky was saved in that occasion because many of you that are watching this video today decided to help him. So today I'm here to remind you that Sky is still alive, that is having a wonderful life, and that is out there because of you. You helped him in that occasion, and I need to ask for your help. Continue helping. This rescue continues saving lives. This rescue continues committing to our mission, and we need your help to continue going. So please, if you can, in honor of Sky, in honor of all the animals that we have saved, please donate. Help me continue saving lives like Sky's. Thank you.